the weekend, I haven't even mentioned the Mississippi State-Ole Miss basketball game that Mississippi State won on the road, and DJ Stewart was magnificent. I'll get into that a little bit later. But Ole Miss is number one in the Baseball America poll. They're 2-0 out in Texas at the tournament. Mississippi State 1-1. In Deion Sanders, Coach Prime's debut, Jackson State beats Edward Waters 53-0. But here's what drove the headlines. Deion jumped up in his press conference and said, "Hey, somebody stole my personal belongings." You know, and he's always very animated and energetic. And so that just, boom, fire on social media. Then there was some back and forth as to exactly what happened because they found his personal belongings not long after that. And then it looked like there were a couple of different stories coming out of the locker room, so to speak. Now, it overshadowed the W, but that's where we are, and we thought we'd bring on the voice of the Jackson State Tigers, Rob J., joining us on the Miller Lite guest line, the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, SEC Insider Hit this morning brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Rob J., good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, bro. How you guys doing?
Do you not sleep? Because I didn't see you text. I was already in bed, and you text me after midnight last night. You're already up and at 'em. Are you a guy that just goes on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep?
Yeah, well, you know, I was preparing, getting ready for the basketball game, and I was actually putting together the Jackson State football coaches show last night. So I was working on that, and just a lot of things that I was working on. So that's what I was doing.
Have you done a coaches show with Coach Prime?
Well, that's very interesting. I've done a coaches show with all of the coaches. He has not agreed to join us on the coaches show, so I still have to do one. I still have to do a football coaches show.
Okay. Do you think it'll get done?
Oh yeah, I'm working on it now.
Okay, so you believe that you will eventually interview him for the coaches show?
What I'll do with him, I'll probably take comments from his press conference and his post game conference instead of sitting down with an interview. He has not agreed to just sit down and do a coaching show with me. So I just take his comments from the podium. And as a matter of fact, that's what we were doing yesterday after the game when we got the word that his stuff was gone.
Okay. So what do you make? I mean, you're dialed in. You're the voice of Jackson State Tigers athletics. What happened that you know of? What happened with this story after the game?
Let me tell you what happened from my perspective.
Okay.
After the football game, we do our post game show in the press box. So what we do, we went down on the field, and I say we, I mean me, camera people, my analyst Daryl Asbury, and we go on the field to do intros and outros for the coaches show. You know, we talk about the game and blah blah blah. So I'm waiting for my camera guys who they are in the press conference, the post-game press conference with Coach Sanders. So I called the guys on the cell phone and said, where are you guys? They said, well, we are about to get the interview with Coach Sanders. All right, so we wait for those guys on the field. So they come over to me and they say, hey, man, Coach Prime just said somebody stole all of his stuff. So I said, yeah, right. So I said, okay, let's see. They said, no. He just said in the press conference somebody stole all his stuff while he was coaching the game. I said, so what stuff? They said his wallet, his phone, his hats, his credit cards. I said, he said that on camera? And they said, yeah. Okay, so, Bo, I'm a little fishy because you can't get in there. Nobody can get in there. I can't get in that locker room.
Really? You don't have access? Okay, gotcha.
No, absolutely
and
not.
You have access everywhere pretty much.
Yes. So
okay.
I can't. They have somebody standing at the door. They have guards and cops standing at the door that we can't get in there. So I'm like, That's no way that happened. And they said, yeah, man, he said that. So instead of including that in the coach's show, I waited. I said, no, I just wait. I got to ask some questions before this. Because me, I got to have the facts before I put anything out on the air.
Right.
All right. So as we're doing the coach's show, this official from Jackson State Athletics comes over and he says, they misplaced his stuff. It wasn't stolen. They misplaced it. I said, what? So I said, okay. So now they in Jackson State Athletics put out a statement saying, a one-sentence statement saying Coach Sanders' belongings were misplaced and have been found. But Coach Sanders came back and doubled down on it. He said that somebody did steal his stuff. So it was just weird. It was just weird after that game, man. And it was a good day for Jackson State after beating a team that they were supposed to beat like that.
Sure. Rob J., the voice of the Jackson State Tigers, joining us on the Miller Lite guest line. You're listening Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone. Jackson State. All right, so in Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime's debut, they win 53-0. However, it was overshadowed with whatever took place either during or after the game as far as with Deion Sanders' personal belongings. And we still don't. So at the bottom line at the end of the day, we still don't know. Is that right, Rob?
Well, I think we know, but Deion, let me just say, since he's been there, he's brought plenty of attention to Jackson State. The facilities are being upgraded. He's brought in millions of dollars of advertisement, free advertisement to Jackson State. I think me personally, I think he may have jumped the gun on it. I do. And with Jackson State coming out saying that his items were misplaced and put in a better secure area, and when he walked in, he didn't see it, and he just went straight to the press conference and went off. I think he should have just waited, man. Just wait to find out where's the stuff. But he claims that someone was in there and was taking it. You know, I just find it hard to believe.
He doubled down afterwards and said a woman took it. I mean, a woman.
He tweeted out that a woman's staff member tried to stop a male from taking it, but she couldn't overpower him.
Smokes.
He tweeted that out to the Jackson State release on Twitter.
Yeah, and the thing about who was in there, who could have gotten in there? Man, let me tell you, I've been at Jackson State 5 years since I left WLBT. I had nothing. Nobody stole anything from me. Of course, I don't have what Deion Sanders has, but I've had nothing stolen from me. I was at a game. I was at a Jackson State basketball game one night. I left my trunk up by mistake with my cameras in there. I was like, oh Lord, but nothing was taken. I just found it hard to believe that somebody could go in that secure area and take his stuff like that. You know, I just think maybe he should have just checked it out before he got to the media.
No, fair enough. Rob J., voice of the Jackson State Tigers on the Out of Bounds show. A lot of excitement around Coach Deion Sanders and Coach Prime. Their debut, 53-0. This young man, Jalen Jones, was 18 of 20 for 187 and 3 touchdowns. They did what they wanted to on the ground, and the game was over at halftime. So there's as Rob said, there's the buzz and excitement is through the roof for Jackson State. Plus, Deion's got all these other things going on through Barstool and other things. So, and his name alone, Hall of Famer. So that's all good. Then there's all the other stuff going on. Now, Blake's got a theory here, Rob, and I want you to. I'll be interested to see what you think. Rob J. joining us on the Miller Lite guest line. Blake thinks that this is not Jackson State, okay, but that because of Deion is this big brand and personality and his other relationships with companies in the media, that this has got a WWE angle, that there's always got to be creating, a buzz or creating some kind of big story or controversy. Are you buying into any of that?
I don't know about that. That's interesting. I don't know about that. I really honestly think he may have jumped the gun. And I got to tell you this, guys. He has an entourage and a group around him that when he says something, they agree to it. You know, when he says something, they're like, okay, we'll go with it. So I don't know, but that's interesting what Blake came up with.
Well, hold on, Rob. Let me pitch it to you like this. Okay, first off, I would agree with you that he could have jumped the gun, but the double down is either, like you said, he's getting his group to go along with his story, which we all know is not hard to do if you can, influence someone with cash, opportunity, whatever. They'll say it. I get that. But on the other side, if he believes it, and he seemed to vehemently believe it, both at the press conference and on Twitter, who's the only person that could get into that locker room? Someone dressed like a Jackson State coach or official. Who would have that type of access and closeness to Deion to get away with it? A company he works for that's in the business of creating storylines. And all I'm saying is this is a tried and true method in the WWE and in the pro wrestling world. It makes so much sense.
And it's what Barstool does now.
Exactly.
I mean, they're WWE,
they are WWE in media.
They're a sports media company.
Exactly. So that's my thing is like if you say no one can get into that locker room except for someone in the team, like who could – the only person that could infiltrate the team is Barstool.
Rob, do you think that his inner circle could have had access to the locker room?
His inner circle, yes, could have, but just a select few, because he's the head coach. He could get in there. Maybe somebody would, because he has a little security staff as well.
I got you.
So just maybe 3-5 people could have gotten in there.
Okay.
So I don't see, and if Barstool is behind this, like you said, it's not good because you make the school look bad.
But they don't care about Jackson State, Rob. They care about selling this primetime movie in 5 years. And that's what – I mean, what better script than for Deion to get to Jackson, have his car broken into, have his locker stolen in his first game, and overcome adversity?
They're filming a reality show on Deion. Is that Barstool or someone else?
I'm not sure who's filming
Rob, do you know if it's like Deion Sanders' media company that he owns, or is it Barstool, or do you know yet who's doing this reality series?
I'm not sure. I know now. I know he does work for Barstool,
right?
Because they do his 21 in Prime show at Jackson State. But I'm not sure about his personal company.
His reality show first aired on the Oprah Winfrey Network in 2014, so it may still be a remnants of that. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so that'll be interesting. Rob J., voice of the Jackson State Tigers, talking Deion Sanders. Jackson State wins 53-0 over Edward Waters. Rob, who does Jackson? Do you know who they play next?
They host Mississippi Valley next Saturday. At 2:00.
How many games are they supposed to play if everything goes right?
They're supposed to play 7.
Okay.
Supposed to play 7 games, and we'll see more of how good the team is with Valley. I don't know how much better Valley is than Edward Waters, but you'll find out when we face Grambling and Southern, and those teams. So we'll really find out how good Jackson State is. But they really look good. I mean, from what we've seen last year, not last year because they canceled the season. The year before that, it was look like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, no question. Don't they play Delta State at some point too, Rob?
They're working on that. I don't know if that's on the schedule this year for the spring. I think it may be for the fall.
Gotcha.
But that's Delta State asked to play, and they're working on that.
All right, Rob J. joining us. Out of Bounds 105.9 The Zone, and Rob joins us on the Miller Lite guest line. So this Jalen Jones quarterback who was 18 of 20 for 187 yards and 3 TDs. What can you tell me about him?
Well, he's a transfer from Florida. He came in from Florida.
Oh, and Mullen signed him. That's right.
Yeah, remember him?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
He's from like Maryland or the Mid-Atlantic region, I think.
That's exactly right, Landover, Maryland.
Okay.
And, so that's who he is. He kind of struggles throwing the ball deep, but he did a lot of damage yesterday by running the football. But he's going to be now when the fall comes, when Deion's son is eligible to play, that's who his competition is going to be.
Oh, wow. So, but they didn't play Deion's son yesterday.
No, he's not eligible to play.
Oh, he's not eligible.
No, the all those guys that he signed, that big class that he signed, they can't play because they have already played in the fall. They played in the fall somewhere else.
Okay.
So this spring season is Jackson State's fall season from last year. So you really can't add anybody.
I got you. Did you see Troy Aikman at the game yesterday?
Man, I did. My sideline guy, when I went down to the sideline, and he said, "Man, I'm standing next to Troy Aikman." I said, "Are you serious?" So he said, "Yeah." So I got my binoculars and I saw him, but I didn't, since I'm up in the booth, I didn't really get a chance to talk to him. But he seems like a nice guy, man. He talked to everybody, which was good.
Yeah, that's super cool. What do you think about these uniforms? Do you like them?
Okay, that's another story.
Okay, so now I see are y'all shifting to red? Or, when I grew up watching W.C. Gordon, y'all were predominantly blue and white. And so what are y'all shifting? What's going on there? Tell me what's happening. By the way, I'm watching your highlights right now on ESPN. Jalen Jones just ran the ball in the end zone against Edward Waters yesterday. Rob, tell me about the uniforms. Your thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you, that surprised me like no other when I saw Jackson State coming out in all red uniform. I thought it was Ole Miss. I'm like, well, Ole Miss, what? Ole Miss playing today? So I'm used to Jackson State is blue and white, and they have a red accent. But Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, he's flashy. He got the contract with Under Armour. Jackson State, I think they have several different jerseys, but the red did throw me off a little bit. It threw me off a lot.
Okay. All right, Rob J. joining us on the Coors Light guest line. Blake, you've got a question for the voice of the Jackson State Tigers. 20 years or so at WLBT. He is Rob J. on the Coors Light guest line.
Rob, other than the snacks hilariousness, Jackson State doesn't really make ESPN and SportsCenter. But like Bo just said, we're watching SportsCenter in the studio right now. Coach Prime, Jackson State. This is like a 5-6 minute segment where we're getting into that's on ESPN 2 and SportsCenter prime time in the morning. So for all of the negativity that potentially surrounds having Deion at Jackson State, do you think this will be an overall positive experience for the university given the publicity that will arise out of it?
I think with the games, it was on ESPN. I think 3 yesterday. I don't know how many people watched that, but with, like you just said, with it being, I didn't know it was on SportsCenter highlights. Yeah, it's positive publicity, but then you get knocked right back down when you say somebody stole all your stuff. I just wish he could have waited. It was a good day for Jackson State, and with the games, with the highlights being shown on ESPN, that's wonderful. Like you said, Jackson State's never on ESPN. A SWAC football game highlights on ESPN? Absolutely not. That never happens unless something out of the ordinary happens. But yeah, this is positive. But I just wish this Steph stuff wouldn't have been attached to it.
Yeah. Rob J. on the Out of Bounds show, he called the game yesterday. So Jackson State is having their 2020 season in the 2021 spring, if that makes sense. Rob tells us that they're expected to play 7 games, maybe more. We'll see. They've got Mississippi Valley State this Saturday. They played yesterday, and obviously Coach Prime is the head coach. Troy Aikman flew in for the debut. There's a lot going on. And if Jalen Jones, he was highly touted out of Maryland. Dan Mullen signed him at Florida. He may dominate this league. So if you've got a quarterback, you're in every game, may even have a chance to win every game. All right, Rob, we got a segue here real quick. I hate to bring this up, but your Kansas City Chiefs lost a couple weeks ago. And
oh, my God.
I know, I'm sorry. I love you. But Tampa Bay, I don't even know what we do with this. Brady gets number 7. Obviously, your Chiefs are going to be back because they're young and they have this all-world, crazy, talented quarterback. Do you chalk it up to the fact that the offensive line was just absolutely decimated, Rob?
Oh, yes, sir. Let me tell you guys something. I'm just getting over COVID-19, okay? I caught COVID when Jackson State basketball team went to Prairie View, okay? It was a few weeks ago. So I was sick as could be. I wasn't able to watch when the Chiefs beat the Browns in the playoffs because I was so sick. I was not able to watch the Chiefs beat the Bills. I got better when the Super Bowl came to watch that mess. I'm like, what? So I was just, man, you know what, I was just so pumped that the Chiefs made the Super Bowl back-to-back years. I have never, as long as I waited for them to get to a Super Bowl, now they get to this. But, yeah, man, Tampa Bay just, And I think if the Chiefs had run the ball a little bit more, even one of the defensive guys for Tampa Bay said, "Man, y'all didn't even run it. The Kansas City was trying to be too cute, man. Just throw the ball and all of this." But I give credit to Tampa Bay. I hate to do it. They just blew it. They just blew my team out.
Oh man, that was, I did not see that coming, even with all the Kansas City offensive linemen going down. But like you said, your team's gone to back-to-back Super Bowls, got them a Lombardi Trophy last year, and things look great with Mahomes and Chris Jones and the crew there at KC. Rob J, was it WLBT for how many years, Rob? 20?
I was there for 21 years.
21 years. Now the voice of the Jackson State Tigers, and they will be covering Deion Sanders, and I think this is going to be fun, wild, and crazy.
Bro, let me tell you this. There was more water in Edward Waters' name than there was at the stadium.
Oh, I don't know how. Yeah. That's incredible that they held a football game with no running water. That's incredible.
Not at all.
That's incredible. All right. Well, look, hey, thanks for because I know you stayed up late. Thanks so much for joining us so early today. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Good.
Thank you
good.
so much.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Thank you, both. Thank you, Blake.
Thanks, Rob J. The super talented. He still has the #1 radio show in the state of Mississippi. I just want y'all to know that. Nobody gets 35 share. They don't do it. His Saturday morning show gets a 35 share. That makes him one of like the biggest radio shows in the country. It's incredible. So anyway, Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Rob J joined us on the Coors Light guest line. Coors Light and crawfish. Now that's a winning combo. Coors Light made to chill. Sorry, Blake, had to change it on you since we're more Coors Light College and Miller Lite NFL. Although there was a combo there. Deion's got the NFL and college stuff going, and Rob, obviously, the voice of the Jackson State Tigers. Our JSU coverage brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. All right, Blake, we've got some time here, about a minute and a half. Do you want to tell everybody how many hours you spent on the road on Friday and Saturday trying to get to Fort Worth, Texas, and not getting there?
26.
26 hours, and you got to where?
Just east of Marshall. We didn't cross the Texas line.
How far is Marshall from Shreveport?
It shouldn't be very long. It's probably only like 35, 40 miles, but we didn't make it.
And then you had to turn around on Saturday morning.
That's right.
And drive back, and didn't get back
till 4:30.
We left 4:30 in the afternoon.
2:30 Friday, made it back 4:30 Saturday. Never got into Texas. Spent 24 hours in Louisiana.
Chris Lemonis, John Cohen, you owe this guy season tickets for the next 15 years.
For real.
In baseball.
Only for the
And
dog.
to all our listeners that have a place in the iconic left field lounge, which is foul pole to foul pole, I hope that you invite the Blakey Blakester
That's right.
out to your spot in the outfield and feed him a bunch of good food and cold Coors Light. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Welcome in. Good morning. Buckle up. Glad to be back on. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance.